Kia ora, welcome to Central News for Thursday, the 25th of September. I'm Anne-Marie Case-Miller. Runners and walkers can look forward to the return of the Campus 5K Fun Run and Walk. Earlier in the year, the University of Waikato partnered with local running club Hamilton City Hawks to host the event, which saw more than 300 participants take part. Andrew Walk, president of the Hamilton City Hawks running club, said he was impressed with the turnout from the event earlier in the year and looks forward to the start of the next series. This time, the university and the Hawks are teaming up with UniRec, the university's on-campus gym, to collaboratively run the event. Tina Pentecost, centre manager for UniRec, says the event is a good fit for business. Starting Monday the 6th of October and running through to the 15th of December, the 5K course will take place on and around the university's campus, starting and finishing on the village green. Hamilton City Council wants to know what residents think about increasing the number of parks across the city where dog owners can exercise their pets off-lead. The city has 15 parks where owners can exercise their dogs without being on a lead, and the council is considering adding 9 new dog exercise areas in city parks over the next 10 years. Councillor Angela O'Leary says it's important that the council provides family and dog-friendly parks by making areas safe and fun for people and their pooches. As well as increasing the number of parks with designated off-lead areas, the council is also considering supplying facilities for pet owners, such as extra bins and doggy bags. It also wants feedback on improving some of the exercise areas already provided for Man's Best Friend and their owners. A drop-in information session for the public has been held at Hamilton Yacht Club, Innes Common, from 4:30 till 6:30 on the 29th of September. Feedback can also be provided online at hamilton.govt.nz/dog parks, and the last day for submissions is October the 3rd. If you've ever wanted to know what's going on in Rotorua's lake area, then an evening to find out more about some of the research projects being undertaken for the Rotorua Te Arawa Lakes program will be of interest to you. The session will be held on Wednesday the 8th of October at 6 p.m. at the Holiday Inn in Rotorua and will be hosted by Bay of Plenty Regional Council and the University of Waikato. Regional Council Lake Operations Manager Andy Brewer says projects to restore the Rotorua lakes were leading the way in freshwater management, and they want to share this research with everyone. The research ranges from understanding the geochemistry of Rotorua's lakes to the economics of lake restoration, sustainable farming and research into Lakes Okataina and Okaro. The university's Lakes Chair, Professor David Hamilton, said that showing the results and the research to people in the community was important for the program and would provide an overview of the science projects. In sport, and a pair of Bay of Plenty clubbies have lent a hand in helping New Zealand rewrite history and retain its world crown at Rescue 2014 in France. The win sees New Zealand Black Ferns become the second nation to win back-to-back titles in the event, joining surf lifesaving powerhouse Australia, with Papamoa's Natalie Peep and Ormanu's Max Beattie part of the heroics. Heading into the final day of competition at Rescue 2014, the Black Ferns were in first place on 608 points, with France in second on 565 and Australia in third on 559. New Zealand retained their lead, with France and Australia swapping positions by the end of the competition. Taking a look at the marine forecast now, with Raglan expecting a southwest of 20 knots, rough sea easing, southwest swell rising to 3 metres for a time. High tide 16 minutes past 11 tomorrow morning. Bay of Plenty southwest 15 knots, sea easing, high tide 28 minutes past 8 tomorrow morning. Coming up, we speak to an award-winning photographer and find out there's more to Pāroa than just fizz. That's next on Central News. Welcome back to Central News. Pāroa is more commonly known for being the P of the fizzy drink L&P. This small town located at the foot of the Coromandel Peninsula has a lot more on offer than just a quick picture with the giant L&P bottle. Town promoter Joe Tilsley spoke to Amanda Harper.
Joe, Pāroa is associated with the fizzy drink L&P. What else does your hometown have to offer any visitors?
Of course, we're very proud of our history with being associated with L&P, and people do love to come and have their photograph taken with the bottle, but we are so much more than that. You go for a walk down the street and you'll find that we're very friendly, we're very open, we're caring. We offer a community. You know, people are moving into Pāroa because they want that sense of community, and we've got it.
And you can offer that. Now, the Vintage and Classic Car Show was held recently. How did that go?
It was a great day. The weather probably hampered it a little bit. I don't think people believe me when I say that the weather is always perfect in Pāroa when we have events, but it actually is. We had probably about 85 cars turn up on the day, which was awesome. We had the Historical Reenactment Society there doing a mock World War II battle, which was quite exhilarating and just a little bit scary. And of course that night we rolled into our first ever retro fashion show, which was awesome. Packed house, all of the clothing sourced from businesses within Pāroa, and it was about retro fashion but with a modern twist. Awesome night.
So when you say retro, like what decade?
No particular era. So yeah, our stylist did an amazing job. She obviously has this real look. Like when I saw the clothes, I was thinking, my goodness, my grandmother wore that, and my mother wore that. But then she popped them on our models, and it looked really funky and modern, and a bit eclectic too. So really cool.
And what else is coming up in the next few months for Pāroa?
Okay, so probably the next big event for us is the first Saturday in November, and it's the Pāroa Lions annual Guy Fawkes display. So for probably, I think it's about 19 or 20 years now, our local Lions have been putting on a display in our local domain. $15 for a family. They're telling me that this year they're doing something that has never been seen before in the Western Bay and the Coromandel, in the wider Waikato area. In fact, they threatened me with, well, actually death if I spilled their secrets. So
you know the secret?
I know some of the secrets, yeah, and I'm saying nothing.
Now, how does hosting events throughout the year, like not just in the summer, how does that help benefit the community?
It's all about bringing people into town. It's about being able to showcase what we have to offer. Obviously, there's an economic benefit for our businesses. People come to town, they get out of their cars, they buy that cup of coffee, they buy that dress they didn't know they needed. And also, too, it gives people a taste of what we have to offer. And as I said before, we've got more and more people actually moving into Pāroa that realising that they can sell up in the larger areas, buy the home of their dreams, have money left over, and they find this warm and welcoming community.
Pāroa, as we know, is world famous in New Zealand. Recently, a local Bay of Plenty photographer won the documentary category of the New Zealand Institute of Professional Photographers Award, and he received a standing ovation from his peers. Bob Tollick has been in the industry for over 40 years, and Hillary spoke with him about how the industry has changed over that time.
I think that technology has made, particularly digital technology and easy to use cameras has made it available to a whole lot more people that are just loving the ability to see the photographs quickly. What it's done to the industry has opened up huge opportunities to take photographs that in the past were very, very difficult to achieve. So it's been very good for both, I feel.
As technology now does a lot of what artists used to be paid for, such as graphic design, do you think it is harder for artists to make a living now?
Yeah, graphic designers have picked up cameras now. That's an interesting change. So they're not using professional photographers quite as much as they did once before. Similarly, photographers have learnt graphic design, and so to an extent what happens in Photoshop especially is available to everybody, and I think the training that a lot of younger photographers get at polytechs or universities means that they are quite proficient when it comes to computer work. And so there's been a sort of a overflow. And I think everyone benefits if they're good at what they do.
How have you not burnt out? How do you remain passionate?
I like taking photographs just for me, as well as for my clients. So when I photograph you, for example, I want to take photographs that you're going to like. When I take photographs for me, I take photographs that I want to like. And those photographs often are my sort of off-business type passions. Like I photograph rugby. And so I've been on the sideline photographing rugby for 40 odd years. Test matches, Bay of Plenty games, all that sort of stuff. I photograph people enjoying themselves. I photograph landscapes, I photograph beautiful sunrises. And generally, those photographs appear in a book that I do. About every 5 years I put out another book on Tauranga, which is a book that shows the lifestyle of this area. It's not just a book of pretty landscapes, it's a book that shows people and how they live.
Do you have any advice for any young budding photographers out there?
It depends on what they want to do. If they want to make a career out of photography, and if that's the case, my advice is that they should go and study marketing and business as well as photography. If it's something that they're going to do really just as a hobby, that's probably a little bit different. One of the best advices I think I can remember from way back is they just have to learn to see. Not to look, but to see.
You can visit tullochphotography.co.nz to find out more. Still to come, we find out about the Business Awards and the Warm Our Whare initiative. That's coming up on Central News. Welcome back to Central News. Voting is open now for the best customer service in the Matamata Piako district. Hillary caught up with Mayor Jan Barnes about the Business Awards.
Voting is now open for the Business Awards. Tell us a little bit about the Business Awards.
Right, our Business Awards that are looked forward to so eagerly every year. The voting has closed for the Business to Business Awards, but for the customer service, which where the public have their say and their vote is open. So we really want people to tell us about the service that they're getting, the customer service. We get really good service in Matamata Piako, but we want to hear about what they value.
Because there are different categories, as you mentioned. So who's nominated in which category?
Right. Well, business to business is where businesses nominate other businesses. So they will have received an invitation to the awards, which is on Wednesday, the 15th of October. And they also will have a form to nominate a business for business excellence within Matamata Piako in the 3 towns. We have the other category, which is customer service, and that's for you and me to be able to vote our preference. So website, our local newspapers, and please do vote. We want to hear from you.
How does a business get nominated then?
Well, other businesses nominate their preference. They may even nominate themselves. And they are collated by the business associations in the 3 towns. And they are the ones that give us the finalists and then finally choose the winner in the business to business category.
Now, business to business category, what would you be looking for a winner there?
We want to see, their branding. We want to see what the community are telling us, and I know the business associations will know that. We want to see excellence. We want to see vibrancy. So the business associations will have their work cut out.
What do you reckon makes a business excellent?
I think it's the first moment of interaction. It's whether you're on the phone and you feel very much appreciated that you've rung up, or perhaps you're coming into the office and your needs are met straight away. So you've got to feel valued.
And are we talking every kind of business here? Because there are a lot of different types of businesses in Matamata and Piako. You've got, beauty spas next to swaps and palm kernel and quarries, and there's so much, isn't there?
There is so much, and that's what makes us so diverse and so successful. It's what a community is all about.
Is it in the past couple of years, has it been more the businesses that have been in the actual town centres?
It could be, but it doesn't have to be. So, we need to think outside. Businesses need to think, who are they using every day? Who are their suppliers? Who are they dealing with?
Now, it's a lot of businesses, as we just mentioned, different types of businesses. There's lots of business nominated, lots of people for the customer service. Who actually has the hard job of picking the winner?
The business to business is chosen by the business associations from Morrinsville, Te Araha and Matamata, and they're very strong. And of course they're partnering. They're our key partner in this celebration of business excellence. So we've given them the hard job.
And as you mentioned, customer service, we get to vote. We get to pick the year.
We get to vote, yes. You and I, Hilary, we get to vote. Yeah.
Now, when all the votes are counted, you're going to have a bit of a shindig, aren't you, to announce the awards?
And it is a very much anticipated evening. We usually have a sellout, 350 people for a meal. We'll have some live music this year. Of course, we have a guest speaker, and we have some wonderful awards to give out. So I encourage businesses and individuals to please come. It's a time for networking. Bring your team, tables of 10, 12. Share a meal and share and celebrate excellence. But also you can make it as a team building exercise for your company.
You mentioned the guest speaker. He's actually quite interesting, isn't he?
He is, yes. Mr. Jamie Fitzgerald. Now, he was the first Kiwi to reach the South Pole, and he will have some interesting tales. He also is working with a lot of organisations and businesses on their strategy and their business planning. So he's got some tips to share with businesses, but he will have some interesting tales of his journey as well.
Yes, I bet. Now, it is a council event, so why does the council think it's important to back these kind of events about business excellence?
Our vision from Matamata Piako is to create excellence in our three towns. We want to strive to be the best, and we're well on the way, can I say. We want to partner with the business associations, and we want to celebrate success. We know we have wonderful customer service, and we know we've got some fantastic businesses in Matamata Piako. In fact, most of them are. So it's a hard-fought customer service and business award evening. So it's great to celebrate, don't you think?
Definitely. So how can we vote one last time? Fill us in.
Please go on to our website, mpdc.govt.nz. Have a look in the newspapers, Piako Post, Matamata Chronicle, or you could even pop into our area offices. But please vote for customer service, for for that extra special treatment that you get. Let us know.
You always remember it, don't you, when you do get it?
Yes, you do.
Visit mpdc.govt.nz to get your vote in. Up next, the Warm Our Whare initiative. We find out more next on Central News. Kia ora, welcome back to Central News. A health initiative seeking to reduce respiratory disease and rheumatic fever amongst at-risk children has seen more than 1,000 homes in Hamilton and the South Waikato receive free floor and ceiling insulation through the Warm Our Whare project. I spoke with Te Puna Oranga General Manager Dita Tamatia to find out more about the Warm Our Whare initiative.
Well, Warm Our Whare is basically an initiative that's tied into Project 270, and Project 270 looks to combat or mitigate the effects of child poverty and whānau poverty within the Waikato DHB district. And that initiative actually comprises of about 3 different strategies, one of which is to look at healthy homes, And so Warm Our Whare is basically putting in free home insulation into the floors and the ceilings of homes for high needs families. Basically you're looking at families that actually have a community services card, so they're low income. They are actually families that live in a home that was built before 2000, because those homes actually prior to that, or after that rather, actually have insulation in it. And you're looking at families that actually have kids under the age of 17, or actually adults who are over the age of 65, so vulnerable by either being very young or old, and also having a health condition in the home is important. And if you're actually a person who rents a home, you can apply, but you need to have the approval of your landlord. And if you actually own the home, you can apply for the insulation as well. The initiative is actually run out through Hamilton City and 30 k's out from Hamilton City, including Ngaruawahia and Huntly, but also throughout South Waikato, through Tikawiti, Tokoroa, out through to Taumarunui.
How are the at-risk children and homes identified?
Well, there's a couple of ways that you can get access to the program. The first is we're looking at our patient management system, and we're actually identifying children that have rheumatic fever or respiratory conditions that are coming in and out of hospital several times over the last 12 months. And we're actually contacting those children's families, and we're actually asking them, would you like to apply? Do you meet the criteria? And if they do, on both counts, we actually put their application through to be considered for assessment. The assessors go out after a while, assess the home, and if indeed they do meet all the criteria, then they can get the insulation installed thereafter. And so you can actually get it through our patient management system, but you can also apply straight from the community if you meet those criteria, which is home built before 2000, children in the household 17 years or under or over the age of 65, an adult, and you have community services card, and if you're renting, you have the approval of your landlord, and you sit within the geographical areas that we actually target in the initiative.
What changes are you seeing once insulation is installed?
Well, I suppose we're seeing that the home's becoming drier and warmer, basically because the insulation allows people to heat their homes and to retain heat within the homes, and because the homes are becoming warmer and drier, they're more healthier. And so the benefits to the children and the wider family or whānau that live in this household is that they actually have better health. So that's well researched at an international level. If you have a warm, healthy, dry home, you're going to have less health problems in that home. So that's the reason why we're doing it. It's all about trying to get an upstream investment in wellness, and it's also about trying to reduce down the numbers of people that are actually being admitted to our hospitals for conditions that actually are preventable.
Further information on the Warm Our Whare and PepiPod initiatives can be found at waikatodhb.health.nz/Te Puna Oranga. Time to take a look at the weather at your place now. Hamilton, cloudy periods for Friday expected with westerlies and a high of 16 degrees, your low 7. Around the region, cloudy with westerlies, and Paroa can expect a high of 17 degrees down to a low of 9. Matamata 15 and a low of 8. Te Awamutu 16 with your low 7, and 16 for Tokoroa as well with 7 overnight. Tauranga sunny with westerlies and a high of 18 degrees expected, overnight low of 9. And around the bay, sunny with westerlies. Te Puke 16 your high and 9 your overnight low. And that's Central News for today, Thursday the 25th of September 2014. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you join our Facebook page. Let us know of news in your community. I'm Anne-Marie Case-Miller. Ka kite anō.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.